while the proposed ordinance looks to penalize people who leave their car doors unlocked. Mayor Johnson wants you to take an extra step by putting away your gun in a place like your glove compartment and locking it. It's been nearly 2 weeks since Tropical Storm Debbie came through the coastal empire and low country. And as you can see, Highway 17 is still closed, leaving thousands of drivers wondering when it will reopen. Very little is left of Chalmers Kicklighter's home here in Glenville, but his parents say while he has a long recovery ahead of him, they're just thankful to still have their son and that his roommate was not home at the time. Well, Meredith Gibson is that qualified write-in candidate now. She's campaigning on her volunteerism and her community work, especially following Tropical Storm Debbie. But she's up against incumbent Carter Enfinger, and he has over a decade of experience as a commissioner and a chairman. You can see the tire marks and the spray paint marking the investigation. Also, leftover glass on the sidewalk and scattered throughout the grass. Now, this chase ended right here in this residential neighborhood. A home is right here. The tire marks going up to the fence beside that home. But some people are wondering, is it worth it for a police chase to happen right here in a residential neighborhood? Now, Toodle says there's something for everyone, and if rides aren't your thing, you can always stuff your face with a funnel cake. Reporting in Statesboro, Sarah Smith, WSAV News 3, on your side. Still a good amount of people out on the roads tonight, but get where you're going and stay there safely and get warm. Now, before I leave you, I did promise Tina Ty Shaw a snowman. While I didn't make this one back here, it does have some gloves on. The EMS and fire officials here in Bryan County made it, but I did add a nice little WSAV touch, and it has a nice scarf on him. I think we're going to name him Scott Roberts, and hopefully he'll be here for a few days. Yes, that heavy construction and congestion here on Highway 280 is driving one family out of their home. I'll give you a little bit of a peek of what's going on here at the intersection of I-16 and 280. Those residents tell me they've seen far too many accidents on this road, and they're fed up with this situation. Now, I first talked with Tracy Stafford in August 2023. Then she told us about semi-trucks coming down her neighborhood on Aspen Lane, causing issues for her and her neighbors. While that has improved, she says her driving experience on 280 hasn't. I did talk with GDOT today, and they did confirm to me the highway is still expanding from 2 lanes to 4 with a turning lane. Also, they're adding 5 temporary roundabouts expected to be operating by the end of this month. Now, the widening and reconstruction is on track to be done by the end of this year, but Stafford says she just can't deal with this any longer.
We are petrified every time we have to leave this neighborhood. You know, my spouse leaves very early in the morning, and it's not well lit, and the roundabouts are just barrels scattered everywhere, and you can't really tell which way you're supposed to go, and we're always afraid. And the roundabouts have been a big topic of discussion on social media. Many people frustrated by them. You can see this is the most recent one here on the corner of I-16 and 280. It was installed just yesterday, but I did talk with some people who live in this neighborhood and drive this road every day, and they tell me they're keeping an open mind. You'll hear from them, and GDOT sent me a statement about this issue coming up on News 3 at 6. Reporting live in Bryan County, Sarah Smith, WSAV News 3, on your side. Egg prices have officially hit an all-time high. According to the Consumer Price Index, a dozen costs about $5 or more, and that's if you can find them. But many people are turning their backyards into a chicken coop, trying to save some money.
My cousin told me about this setup with just the storage container. We took a staple gun and we put some chicken wire on top.
Megan Lozano is one of many Americans looking to get baby chicks, with bird flu being a concern and the rising cost of eggs.
The biggest reason is knowing what's in your food, knowing where it comes from.
She says the grocery bill for her family of 5 oftentimes matches the amount of their mortgage each month.
We need a lot of food. It's a growing food budget.
They hope this project will save them some money down the line. All they need now is the chicks, but some say having backyard chickens isn't very cost efficient. Lozano's neighbor has a coop that cost them around $3,000, plus the materials to build a pen. Lozano isn't expecting to spend that much money, but for her, it's about the experience too.
We can teach our children about the whole process. We try to be less wasteful. We recycle and everything, and then we can give the scraps to the chickens, and then they give us eggs.
It's up to you if saving money on eggs outweighs the costs of the coop and the chickens, but according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the price of eggs won't go down anytime soon. Reporting in Bryan County, WSAV News 3, on your side.
They're exerting, and that exertion with the weight and the heat all compounds together.
Their job is dangerous enough, running into buildings to save lives, facing high temperatures. And while they train to fight fire, they face another obstacle, the heat.
It's hot.
Yeah.
It is extremely hot.
Heat stress isn't just exhausting, it can kill you. And imagine adding 70 more pounds onto your back. Tell me about the gear that you'll have to put on every day.
So this is a protective gear for the firefighters. They've got boots, they have protection for their toes, for dropping heavy objects on their toes. They have shanks in the bottom if they were to step on nails. It's also waterproof for the boots, so they're stepping in somewhat of a high water. And they have bunker pants that they pull up with suspenders to keep them up. They button them and Velcro them together just like you would your regular clothes. They have a hood that they put on to protect their ears and around their face and their neck. And they have the coat that they put on over that.
Then you add the self-contained breathing apparatus and whatever tools they carry.
They're either picking up hand tools to open up doors, to open up crevices, to get into walls, to extinguish fires, or they're doing other activities as in a vehicle extrication. Somebody's trapped in a car and they're using heavier tools and they're starting to exert themselves while wearing this.
And they have to put it all on in 2 minutes, since every 30 seconds a fire can double in size.
You've got to do it really quickly because you're also hearing in the background of radio transmission telling us where to go, what type of emergency it is. And you have company officers in the crews, they're starting to formulate a game plan of what they're going to experience when they get there.
I wanted to experience the weight and heat of what they have to wear, but I needed a little help.
It's also an adrenaline rush. I mean, this is you train every day to go help people in need. And you know that we're going there to make sure everybody's safe and okay and outside of a home that may be on fire. And then we're trying to preserve what property they have, because that may be the only thing that they have to their name. And that is so meaningful to that person that it's just a huge reward for us.
You either hear the music or the sound of their cannon, and that's when you know the pirates are here. The A-Lee Shriners have so many clubs and units following behind them, and they're sure to bring the fun. Maybe one of the best views of the St. Patrick's Day Parade, the A-Lee pirate ship. As we passed tens of thousands of people, not one had a frown on their face.
We love being out with all the crowds, all the people, everybody, they just love us.
Everyone dancing, singing, and waving with the A-Lee Shriners. Potentate Danny Freeze got to ride at the front of the parade this year, an honor. This parade's something he looks forward to each and every year.
I'm around all my brothers and friends in the community that supports us, so we enjoy every parade that we're in, more especially this Savannah, because we're all hometown boys.
His fellow Shriners say seeing smiles on kids' faces is the best part.
When you see the kids' faces light up, I mean, a lot of these kids, they see the pirate ship, they get excited, they see a real pirate, and I mean, let's face it, every kid has either wanted to be a pirate or dressed up as a pirate.
And being out in the community reminds everyone what the Shriners do, raising money for their 21 hospitals for children.
That's our heart. We make sure our kids are good. We love our Shriners children, and all the kids out here, the smiling faces, doesn't get any better.
Reporting in Savannah, Sarah Smith, WSAV News 3, on your side.